Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Hi, how you doing? Today we're gonna talk about something rather interesting, the Gnosis of the Electro Archon. Obviously, Sumeru is where we found out about what the Electro Gnosis looks like. But before Sumeru came out, we had a Latsu trailer, the Fatui trailer. I'm sure everybody's seen it already. And the question was, when that trailer came out, wait, is the Electro Gnosis the knight? Because it seems like the knight is the one that's taking the pawn, and the pawn seems like Senora because the little fire butterfly, and the Electro Gnosis seemed like a bishop when we first saw it, so there's like a little bit of a confusion. And the question is, why? Is it a fake? Is it a misdirection? What's really going on? It might not be something that you've thought about. So inside the game, we know that when Senora died, unfortunately, she died during a duel between the Traveler and herself, and the person who was watching was Raiden Shogun. Now the question is, what is the context between that duel? Raiden Shogun, if you think about it, didn't fight Senora. We fought Senora. Now, does that make us, the Traveler, the Knight Gnosis? I don't think so, but there's a point of like Traveler being an honorary knight of the Favonius Order. I don't think that is a very huge indication here. I have a different idea. So here is the video that I made a while back, and it piggybacks on the concept of what Gnosis shapes could be depending on the slime's correlations. Obviously, Venti is the queen, right here in the middle. And then we know that the Geonosis is the rook. That's all the information we got in the very beginning, right? And then we had to kind of deduce, what does this mean? Now that this piggybacks on the slime theory, the reason why I even came up with this order or idea is because the slimes obviously look identical to each other, which I found very weird. So this is the Geo slime. And we know that the Geonosis is the rook. We've already seen that from the Archon quest in Liyue. But weirdly, some of these slimes have similar appearances. For some reason, the Cryo slime also has similar aesthetics as the Geo slime. Same with the Dendro slime and the Electro slime. Now, they might not look completely identical, but there's like a little thing at the top. Look, little thing at the top. What would you call this, chat? Appendages? Hair? Hair. Okay, everybody's saying hair now. Oh my god. Okay. Electro slime and the Dendro slime have something coming out of their head. It's also identical in their like smaller versions. And then of course the Hydro slime and the Pyro slime, they have little horns. Now my thought was, okay, why are they identical? It's like, if they're identical, then shouldn't they mirror each other in some way? And then I thought maybe because the Geo and the Cryo slimes look identical, they're both rooks. And that was the idea. And I didn't really know what the Dendro Gnosis or the Electro Gnosis would look like, but I just made an educated guess. If Dendro Gnosis is anything in the chess piece, it's probably something related to knowledge and wisdom. That's why I assumed it was the bishop piece, more so than the knight, right? But if that's true, then it would mean that the Electro Gnosis should be identical because of their hair. So that's why I gave Electro Gnosis the bishop. Now again, we go back to the interlude, the Latsu interlude, and there's a knight instead of a bishop. So there's like a little bit of a conflict in consistency. But we do know that in Sumeru Archon Quest, the Electro Gnosis looked very close to a bishop. Misdirection? It could have been, but I have another thought. Going back to the concept of the duel between the Traveler and Senora, who's the one who ultimately caused Senora's death? It was obviously the Traveler. Raiden Shogun, of course, ended Senora's life like, oh, right? But we were like the reason why it happened to begin with. But again, going back to that whole knight thing, is Traveler the knight? I don't think so. Call me crazy, but this is what I think. Okay, Gnosis. Electro. We know that it's a bishop piece, but we also know, judging from this and the dueling concept between Traveler and Senora, it also has something to do with the knight because of the last trailer. Knight. Tell me if this makes sense. The knight, in my opinion, has two meanings. If hypothetically, the knight pieces, Knight Gnosis, are Hydro and Pyro, think of the context of these two regions, chat. Hydro would be more akin to judgment. If Hydro is judgment and Pyro is war, the context behind the duel between the Traveler and Senora, it accompanies both judgment and war. So the question again, going back, is why was this not a bishop piece? Because that's where it happened, in Azuma, right? But realistically, again, Raiden Shogun was not the reason that Senora died. It was us through the context of judgment and war. So is this trailer a misdirection, or is it in fact a preview of what actually it represents in the future in other regions that hasn't been released yet? That's something interesting that caught my attention while like thinking about this for a second. I don't think that will work. It might not. But again, why was this the night? We don't know what the Electro Gnosis looks like. But again, going back to this concept, they should be identical. They should be. If it's not, then this whole slime theory, if we figure out later that it's not, then the whole thing goes out the window, obviously, and means absolutely nothing. But why are they identical? It obviously makes sense that they are connected to something related to Archons because, again, Electro Slimes are very special because it represents two different versions, right? A and Makoto. So my thought was, really, like, there's something here between the Slimes and the Archons. Not to mention, this always gave me the idea that like there's a core of Rukkhadevata and then Kusanali sprouting from it. The hair. The more and more we learn about the story of Genshin Impact, it seems like the king might just be the entirety of time itself. Istra. The slime theory doesn't really work though, but some stuff might connect. Yeah, it's not 100% for sure, but it's just an interesting idea, no? Because the question was, again, like, why the hell was this the night to begin with? When this trailer came out, it made it feel like as if, okay, the Electro Gnosis is a night. I'm like, alright, if that is the case, then that's cool. But we found that it wasn't. So now we're fucking confused. What does this signify? And this is honestly the only conclusion that I can come up with. And of course, the Electro Gnosis wasn't shown because I think they're just hiding that information from us. Senora got vaporized. Why? Because of the mix of Hydra and Pyro? Oh my god! Oh shit, it's canon. What is the meaning of bishop? When it says empower to bestow holy order, does that make sense to Raiden Shogun? As in like closest thing to heavenly principle, that kind of concept? I don't know. Does it make sense? It might. It feels like it kind of does. So why is the knight potentially the Hydra Gnosis? The only thing I can conclude from it is just the idea of judgment. But is night relating to judgment? Who knows? Night is judgment and justice. So judgment plus justice. How does that relate to night is the question. Is that like something I don't know about? That night is actually considered justice? Because night enforces laws and order. Oh, we're talking about night as in like the job of a knight. That's what we're talking about, right? Not like the horse, but the knight itself. Ah. In that aspect, it might make sense, sure. What's interesting about all this? They still, after 2 years, have not showcased a repeating piece. The Electro Gnosis was the closest one, but they didn't show it. Which was very interesting. They clearly did it on purpose. Because if they did it, then we will figure all this shit out. Would Saritsa's piece be black or white? That's interesting, because the logic tells me it should be white. But if the pawns are the harbingers, then what the hell is going on? But it makes sense, because isn't she technically trying to sabotage the other side, the white side of Celestia and the Archons? Double agent. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, hit the like. Thank you very much. And let me know your thoughts about this video in the comments below, okay? Bye bye, everybody. Have a good holidays. Peace.